There's a Greek island where 1 in 3 people live past 90. There's a Japanese island where the oldest women on earth tend their gardens every morning. And there's a peninsula in Costa Rica where farmers in their hundreds still grow and harvest their own food from seeds their grandparents taught them to plant. Something is happening in these places, something to do with soil and seeds and a particular quality of time. Researchers call these places blue zones, 5 corners of the world where people don't just live longer, they live better, deep into old age. For decades, scientists have been trying to work out why. The short answer involves something you might not expect. It involves plants, not just eating them, growing them, living alongside them, knowing them the way your grandmother might have. Start in Okinawa, Japan, where almost every centenarian grows a garden. In a culture with no word for retirement, the garden is not a hobby. It is ikigai, the reason why you get out of bed in the morning. In Sardinia, shepherds carry homegrown beans and local wine on their daily 5-mile walks. In Ikaria, Greece, an island with more than 100 kinds of wild greens, people brew daily teas from herbs they forage themselves. Rosemary for blood pressure, sage for inflammation, dandelion for the liver, all of it growing within walking distance of home. And on Costa Rica's Nicoya Peninsula, centenarians tend backyard gardens growing the same 3 crops their ancestors grew: corn, beans, and squash. The combination is so nutritionally complete that the indigenous peoples of Mesoamerica call them the 3 sisters. So why does this matter biologically? Researchers decided to find out. What they found is remarkable. In 2025, a study in Scotland tracked nearly 500 people from age 79 to 90. It is one of the longest aging studies ever run. Frequent gardeners had a 22% lower risk of dying than people who never gardened. And that is not the striking part. The striking part is what showed up at the cellular level. The gardeners had longer telomeres. Here's what that means. Telomeres are the protective caps at the end of your chromosomes. Think of the plastic tip on a shoelace. Every time your cells divide and every time your body's under stress, those caps get a little shorter. Shorter telomeres mean faster biological aging. They are linked to higher rates of dementia, heart disease, and cancer. So the gardeners in this study were not just living longer. At the cellular level, they were younger. And it's not one study. A Swedish study of 4,000 adults found that people who did light daily activity, gardening, walking, yard work, had a 30% lower risk of dying from any cause. An Australian study found regular gardeners had a 36% lower risk of dementia. A study of Taiwanese adults over 50 found daily home gardening cut mortality risk by 18%. And the Scottish gardeners have been followed even further, all the way through 2025. Of the roughly 475 people who started, nearly all have died. The few still alive are 103 years old. But there is another layer here. It is not only the act of gardening, it is what these cultures grow and eat. In Okinawa, the purple sweet potato, called beni imo, once provided more than half of the average person's calories. It gets that deep violet color from anthocyanins, and those anthocyanins are extraordinary. Studies suggest they have stronger antioxidant activity than grape skin, red cabbage, elderberry, or purple corn. They appear to push back on several of what researchers call the hallmarks of aging: genomic instability, stem cell exhaustion, chronic inflammation. In Sardinia, the local Grenache wine, Cannonau, carries 2 to 3 times the polyphenols of most wines. A 2012 study using chromatography confirmed the unusual density. Sardinians drink it in moderation, with food, with friends. And in Ikaria, those daily herbal teas are not just tradition. Wild rosemary and sage act as mild diuretics that help regulate blood pressure and as antioxidants that help hold down inflammation. The pattern is not a coincidence. These cultures landed on plant foods that are chemically protective. The polyphenols, flavonoids, and anthocyanins in their diets lower oxidative stress and inflammation, the same processes that shorten your telomeres. There is one more layer, and it is newer. It may not be only what they grow, but how. Crops raised in healthier, more biodiverse soil, the small-scale, low-input way these cultures have always farmed, test higher in the very polyphenols and antioxidants we are talking about. The garden itself may be part of the chemistry. Now, I want to be straight with you about something, because this is Elloquist, and that means looking at the science honestly, even when it complicates the story. The Blue Zones idea has drawn real criticism. A researcher at University College London, Saul Newman, has argued that some of the reported centenarian numbers are inflated, the result of poor record keeping, fraud, and pension payments that keep flowing to people who have died. In Japan, a 2010 audit found 230,000 officially listed centenarians who are missing or dead. Costa Rica and Greece showed similar gaps in the records. The researchers who built the Blue Zones concept have defended their work. They say they cross-checked civil records going back to the 1880s in Sardinia and found no missing centenarians in the part of Okinawa they studied. The field is divided, and Newman's paper has not cleared peer review. And here's the part that surprised me most. Even the people who built the concept now say the original places are changing. Newer generations in Nicoya and Okinawa are not living as long as the ones before them. And Dan Buettner, the National Geographic explorer who identified the Blue Zones and popularized the whole idea, now says most of the original zones are waning. But this is what matters. The biology does not need the centenarian count to be exact, and it does not need these particular places to stay exceptional forever. The Scottish study has nothing to do with the Blue Zones. The Swedish study is independent. The Australian dementia research is independent. The habits underneath, plant-rich diets, daily gentle movement, a sense of purpose, real social connection, hold up on evidence that has nothing to do with how many 100-year-olds live in Okinawa. Here is what stays with me. These are not secret societies with access to some longevity potion. They are ordinary people in ordinary places doing what humans have done for thousands of years. They grow things, they tend things, they eat what they grow, they move because life asks them to. They know their neighbors, they have somewhere to be in the morning. The purple sweet potato in Okinawa is not exotic. It is a root vegetable that someone planted, tended, harvested, and cooked. Their Sardinian garden is not a wellness trend. It is a family tradition. Ikigai is not a productivity framework. It is the old, simple experience of having something worth waking up for. The science is telling us something part of us already knew. Living close to plants, growing them, eating them, tending them the way you would tend anything alive because they are alive may not be a footnote to a long life. It may be the point. You do not need to move to Okinawa. You need a pot of herbs on the windowsill. You need a reason to step outside in the morning. You need something growing. If this made you curious, there's more where this came from. The world is more alive than we remember. I'm Elloquist, and I'll see you in the next one.